Got it. We'll go in 5, 4. Are we recording now? Yep. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand by camera 2. Auto.
Hi
Stand by
everyone,
lower
and
third.
welcome to another edition of Inside Swoop Scoop. I'm Jessica Lee.
And I'm Xavier Ford. Here are some of the stories we've been following over the past few weeks from around the world. It's been a gripping time in
Stand by
American
DDR1.
politics as former President Donald Trump survived an assassination attempt while at his campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. One audience member named Corey Comparatore was killed and 2 others were seriously injured.
Take.
A gunman later identified
Take
as
buff.
20-year-old Thomas
Stand by camera
Crooks
2.
positioned himself on top of a sloped roof close to the event. According to a Fox News report, the gun was registered to his father, Matthew Crooks. A bullet grazed Trump's ear and moments later dropped on the ground for cover. When
Might
he
be able to
stood
turn
up,
that up a
he
little
raised
bit.
his fist and blood could be seen on his face. He was then covered and then rushed out of the area by Secret Service, and Crooks was killed by other members of the Secret Service. Trump later wrote on his platform Truth Social thanking people for their thoughts and prayers and thanked God for saving him. He also wrote that it was important that people stand united and that he would be speaking to the nation at the Republican National Convention in Wisconsin.
Take.
And for only the third time in his
Stand by
presidency, President
DDR1.
Joe Biden gave a speech from the Oval Office concerning the attempted assassination of his political opponent, saying,
Take.
My fellow Americans, I want to speak to you tonight
You
about
kind of have
the
to
need
baby
for us
this
to
audio a
lower
little
the
bit because
temperature
it
in our
like
politics.
goes up and down.
A former president was shot.
No.
An American citizen
Stand
killed
by camera
while
2.
simply exercising his freedom to support the candidate of his choosing. We cannot, we must not go down this road in America. Yes, we have deeply felt strong disagreements.
And
The
one
stakes in
thing,
this election are
I'm
enormously
going
high.
to just cut
We
back to
debate
them,
and disagree.
if you wouldn't mind like
We
fading
compare
this
and
audio out
contrast the
because it
character of the
ends pretty
candidates.
abruptly.
We
So I'm
resolve
just
our
going to cut
differences at
back and leave the
battle
audio
box.
running.
Let's remember we are the United States of America. There is nothing beyond our capacity when we do it together.
Former President Donald
Well,
Trump released another
that's
statement on the
fine.
platform a day later, voicing that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. should have Secret Service protection. Writing, in light of what is going on in the world today, I believe it is imperative that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. receive Secret Service protection immediately. Given the history of the Kennedy family, this is the obvious right thing to do.
President Biden has since authorized Secret Service protection for the independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
In the days after the attempted assassination, the former president testifying in front of Congress and many calls for her resignation, Kimberly Cheeto has resigned as the U.S. Secret Service director. President Biden will be responsible for appointing for a new director, and he said that he would do so soon. Meanwhile, Secret Service Deputy Director has been named the agency's acting director.
In the aftermath of the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump, the friends and family remember victim Corey Comparatore, the father and volunteer firefighter who was killed at the Pennsylvania rally. Yasmin Rodriguez has more.
Take.
Strangers he did the same exact thing for.
Corey Comparatore was a father, husband, a volunteer firefighter, and someone who everyone we spoke to described as a truly good man.
He was a good guy. He really was. You know, you hear stories all the time.
All right, stand by camera 1.
End up getting taken out, and unfortunately,
this is
that's
a pretty
what
long
happened.
package. So
Corey just hit his 30-year mark with the Buffalo Township Volunteer Fire Department. He even served as captain for the department for a few years. It was his dedication to his family that made Corey take a back seat and just continue on as an active firefighter. In a statement to Pittsburgh's Action News 4, Richard Hill, the Buffalo Township manager, says, quote, "The Buffalo Township Board of Supervisors is deeply saddened by the loss of Corey Comparatore. We extend our deepest sympathies to the Comparatore family and all those affected by Saturday's violence. Corey was a dedicated husband, father, friend, and volunteer to the community and will be sorely missed." Now, Corey is being remembered for his willingness to go above and beyond for everyone around him.
We got 2 people that are going to talk to him, and then 1 more, and we're going back.
Take his shirt off his back for anyone.
He helped us out when I was real sick a couple years ago in the hospital and almost died. Corey was one of my first people who messaged me saying, "Hey, how can I help you?"
2.
The governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, spoke about Corey Comparator at a press conference.
By DDR1.
Here's what he had to say about the killed Pennsylvanian.
Take.
We lost a fellow Pennsylvanian last night.
Good.
Corey Comparator. I just spoke to Corey's wife and Corey's two daughters. Corey was a girl dad. Corey was a firefighter. Corey went to church every Sunday. Corey loved his community. And most especially, Corey loved his family. Corey was an avid supporter of the former president.
When do you want me to come back?
So excited to be there last night with him in the community. I asked Corey's wife if it would be okay for me to share
that up the whole time.
that we spoke.
I saw this thing that said OutQ on loved his
She
family.
also asked that I share with all of you that Corey died a hero. That Corey dove on his family to protect them last night at this rally.
Governor Shapiro also ordered flags to be flown at half-staff around
stand
the
by
state,
DDR1.
according to Hayden Mittman and the Associated Press. Trump was seen for the first time after the attempted assassination entering the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where he accepted the Republican nomination and announced that his running mate would be Ohio State Senator J.D. Vance. He also spoke about the attempt on his life and the volunteer firefighter who lost his life at the rally.
Take. Okay. And then I can't remember, what's the out key on this one, the lady?
Last time I put up that chart, I never really got to look at it. But without that chart, I would not be here today. Despite such a heinous attack, we unite this evening. We must not criminalize dissent or demonize political disagreement, which is what's been happening in our country lately at a level that nobody has ever seen before. But I'm thrilled to have a new friend and partner fighting by my side. The next Vice President of the United States, the current Senator from Ohio, J.D. Vance, and his incredible wife, Usha.
After mounting pressure from top officials to drop out of the 2024 presidential race, President Biden announced on X that he would no longer be seeking the 2024 presidency. In a statement, he wrote about his accomplishments during his time as president and thanked Vice President Harris for her partnership. President Biden has also said that he would speak to the nation about his decision at a later date and believes that there is nothing America can't do when we do it together.
President Biden's full statement can be found on his personal account on X. He also used his personal account to show support for Vice President Harris as she now runs for President of the United States and encouraged followers to donate to the Biden and Harris campaign funds. In related news, the Trump campaign has filed an FEC complaint saying that the transfer of the $91 million given to the Biden-Harris campaign to Harris would violate the Election Campaign Act of 1971. The FEC declined.
We're going back to camera one. Take.
A California high school team
invented
a smart device that cools firefighters down while they are working and received a grant from MIT for it. The Calistoga High School students' device prototype fits underneath
the next one is a sound on tape, so I don't know what the levels
to determine the temperature and pushes cold water to their foreheads.
Yep.
This is the device that we made for firefighters. We have fire-resistant material on the outside.
It's portable. It's essentially a backpack.
These LEDs will
and
go
it's the
off,
teacher when she's
once
okay.
Your human
We're going
body
back to camera
or
one.
ambient temperature has reached a certain threshold.
It feels good. The cool pack is definitely cool on the forehead.
Our town would have burnt to the ground if we wouldn't have had the firefighters saving us, you know. And they're out there risking their lives.
Stand by to remove the buffer.
From Microsoft helping us.
MIT's whole thing is that they want you to invent for helping other people.
Our gear as it is already hot. It's been an early start to the fire season, so a product like that would be a massive benefit to us out in these fires.
There's nothing stopping us from getting this out of the shelves.
They
like 5
are
seconds.
so amazing. I would cry if I wasn't on TV right now. They're just incredible.
device took 6 months to make.
That
and
was
can
my
also
bad.
be used to make firefighters warm when the weather gets colder. The team is also receiving help from Microsoft to patent the device to help their community. Now heading on over to Reese Leatherman for some news that is out of this world.
Take.
It's the 2-year anniversary of the James Webb Telescope, the most sophisticated infrared space telescope, and NASA has released a new photo to commemorate the occasion. NASA calls this pair of intertwined galaxies the penguin and the egg. The Space Administration said that the two galaxies haven't exhausted each other's resources because they're similar in mass, and that the new stars within the penguin galaxy are a result of when the two galaxies passed each other for the first time tens of millions of years ago. In more stellar news, the Royal Observatory Greenwich in London has announced its annual Astronomy Photographer of the Year finalists. So let's have a look at some of the out-of-this-world pictures. The 16-year-old competition saw almost 60 nations provide over 3,500 entries captured using special equipment. The photos will be judged by art and astronomy experts, and they will announce the top spot winner and the winners for multiple categories on September 12th. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Reese. The doggy paddle is getting a lot more literal for one southern Maine town as dogs are being trained as second responders. This 10-week-old puppy named Belle is already training to save lives in Scarborough. According to the Scarborough Beach Park manager, she is swimming in a pond a few times each week and is already fetching people, that is.
The dogs can pull in 5 people at a time. A lifeguard's not pulling in 5 people. They can pull in 2, maybe 3, but they're not pulling in 5.
Year 1 again.
For sure, yeah. It's definitely, when there's very strong surf, I feel safer knowing that I have them in case I don't always feel comfortable bringing that many people in, so having them here as a resort is very nice.
All right, they're about to start talking now. All right, go.
While the dogs haven't made any rescues yet, they are ready to paddle out when called by a lifeguard and know how to navigate the dangerous
Stand by to
currents.
remove the buff.
If a rescue is needed, a lifeguard will respond first, followed by a dog to pull the distressed swimmer to the shore.
Take.
Well, thanks for joining us for another edition of Inside Swoop Scoop. I'm Jessica Lee.
And I'm Xavier Ford. We'll see you next time with more news from around the world.
Black. All right.
Oh my God.